Talking real estate with Realtor Stephanie Jones of Next Home Superior Living. Good Monday morning, and thank you for joining us here today.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've had you on in the past. You've talked about the importance of communication, of having something on paper, and now we're talking about why a potential home buyer, why you might need to have something signed in order to see a home. Why is that?
So as we've talked about, last year there was a landmark legal case that led to a decision that National Association of Realtors requires a buyer to have something signed with an agent to look at a house unless it is the listing agent. So there are some people who think, well, I'm just going to go look at things with listing agents, and they can, but it won't necessarily save you any money to look at things with a listing agent, and you still have to sign an agency disclosure so that everyone knows who's working for who, and that listing agent is always going to be working for the seller unless they're a dual agent. So if you are a dual agent, it means you work for both the buyer and the seller, and it requires multiple forms of paper and a lot of communication before anyone's looking at any property.
So there's just a couple of steps that need to be put in place before you can just pull up to a house and maybe peek through the window.
Yeah, as we've always said, I truly believe the best thing for buyers who are interested in looking at homes is to get their own buyer's agent to guide them through the process. It is not as easy as, I just think I want to go look at homes. First thing to do is find an agent who's going to represent you, especially in that starter home range. Those homes still are getting multiple offers, and you need to be pre-approved. You need to know what type of loan you have so that you can position your offer to be competitive and to know, is that a home I can even go look at?
What would be the process of getting that signature from your buying agent in order to go look at the house? And do you need to have something signed from both the listing agent and the buyer's agent if they're two different people?
For the buyer, the thing that you really should do is sit down with a buyer's agent, and I recommend interviewing a couple agents. Agents could charge different fees. Those fees are often paid for through the transaction by putting it in the purchase agreement by the selling side, but the fees could be different. And interview a couple of agents, and those agents are going to tell you to go get pre-qualified. You know me, I tell you to get pre-qualified by a local lender and find out what the process is. And once you're pre-qualified, you will know what type of loan you have, and that will determine what type of house you can go look at.
So it sounds like a couple of key takeaways here this morning are: one, have an agent because they know what they're doing and they will take you through all of the steps and all of the processes that you need in order to not sidestep any legal requirements. And then two, have a conversation. Don't try to do things on your own in a sneaky roundabout way, because then you might end up having more work, or you're not missing everything. You're missing something. We're running out of time this morning, Stephanie, but is there any final thoughts you'd like to share with us?
As always, I think that agents are your highest resource of information, and I think that there's a lot that you can do with an agent. They're working for you, and they're there to partner with you in the process.
Well, I wanted to thank you for your time on this Monday morning, Stephanie.
We're there for you.
Yes, you are. I will share all of this information to our website, uppermichigansource.com. But for now, we will be back with your first alert to thunder showers.